We just couldn't get enough of the guitar. Why? Because Wednesday is Guitar Friends Day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey everybody. How we doing? Awesome. What are you excited for today? What you got on the docket? We're gonna rock it. You'll see. Let's go. Here we go. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, just a slinky groove in E. Good day to you. What time zone are you on? Tell me, like, what time of day is it where you are? Because we got people across the pond. We got people upside down, hanging with the kangaroos, playing in the key of whoop, E upside down. It's still E. That's what we got going on here, gang. We got Jeff Miller, Eastern. We got 1 p.m. We got 11 a.m. We got 7 p.m. Okay, so some people are having their evening dose of coffee and guitar. Stay up all night. Alaska time is any time that either the sun is always up or the sun is never up. Am I right? Am I right? Check this out if you feel all right and you want to jam along with this sort of like, this is kind of the key of the week, right? So the E major, we're going to get into it today and we're going to build a solo. You've been working hard. Hey, Traverse City Cherry Festival. I love it, Chris Boone. We go up there. We go up to Charlevoix every single summer. I've been doing that since I was yay high. It's the best. It's beautiful up there. Don't tell anyone though. We want to keep it a secret. The word already kind of got out though, right? Oh, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into this. Let's get into this right now, gang. Let's fire up a warm up. I'm so glad you're here. Let's kick some butt. We got a scale on a string. Can anyone tell me what scale this is we have laid across the first string? Okay, so let's just work our way up. We got an E, E, that's an open E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and then back down to E, right? We got E major on there, right? So let's work our way up. We're gonna get this going. We're gonna use this today. E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Let's keep going up. B, up to C sharp, D sharp, E. Let's go down from here. E, say the notes with me. D sharp, C sharp. You wanna learn the fretboard? We gotta make friends with these things. That's an A, that'll always be an A, even when you're not in the key of E. Start to know that these dots are your friend. You're gonna have that A there whenever you need it. Now, check this out for some tasty phrasing. Let's hit the open B string. And now we're gonna hit the open B string every time before we hit a note on the first string. So watch this. It's like Nirvana. We got 2 notes from the scale. We're doing that, but let's add some movement now. Let's go back down to just the open second and first string. And again, now let's add that second fret, right? Gonna move a little bit quicker now. Let's play some call and response. Now you play something like that. So it's a bit of a picking exercise too, right? Beautiful, right? Let's go up here. Nice. So sometimes we're just a guitar player in a guitar player's world and we land on a key that works really well with the guitar. Lean into it. We're in E. So we've got these first 2 strings that we can just use. Check this out. What scale is that? Bit of a trick question. It's the same scale. Let's go. Same Nirvana 2 notes. That droning E sounds really nice, even when we're doing one that's kind of sort of dissonant on its own when it resolves. This is really just E major again. So check this out. That lick is really nice. And we're just hitting both of these strings straight on through, first and second string. You might just be building this into the solo that you craft and create for today's jam. So let's do a little bit more on this. So on the PDF for today is this. It's both of these strings all lit up with E major. And now you can be creative with how you use them. You could be just going up and down on one string. You could be doing the second string. Isn't that fun? You can kind of teleport across the neck, and let's say you had a triad you wanted to get up to up here. You could work your way up there from down here. So it's a nice way to sort of, like our friend Galen sometimes says, it's like an elevator to scoot across the neck. You could also use this as your map for finding bits and pieces of like these thirds that we were using yesterday. How cool was yesterday? And I say that because you guys have been sharing the most incredible videos over on the Facebook group. Congratulations for stepping in and daring and sharing. It's been so much fun to see it. I've been commenting. You guys have been commenting and cheering each other on. If you're curious about what that's all about, if you're seeing this just on YouTube, if you're catching this on the replay, go check out the Facebook group. It's a private group, so we'll approve you. We make sure we got people that are just there for the right reasons to play guitar and share their progress. But each day we have a challenge. Later in this stream, we're gonna pick a random winner from the people that answered the call to the challenge yesterday. The prize today is a pretty sweet prize. We'll talk about it later, but you got to enter daily in order to be in the running for one of these prizes. Today's challenge is that we're gonna take this song we've been working on, and we're just going to take the A section and the B section. So that's day one, that's the A section. Day two, the B section. We're going to put them together, and now you get to write a solo. And now what's different than what we've done up till now is that we've kind of been building in like triads and playing some guitar parts that are really nice and tasty, and there's been plenty of fills. Now I want you to think like someone who's in the band, who the band turns to you and they say, all right, now is your chance to play your solo. So you're going to compose something that has a beginning, middle, and end, and a way to get into it, a way to sort of like raise the drama or however you want to phrase your solo, and then a way to get out of it. So this is the craft of building a solo that once you have a plan, and that's what we're going to work on today, is a battle plan. I'll give you some tricks like the stuff that we have up there on the board already. You're going to have a strategy. You're going to have a beautiful solo. It's going to sound like you had some ideas, but then you got to improvise along the way. You'll make up some of it as you go. So let's get into this jam. Remember, from the top, it's our old friend, this drum fill. So we got our first section here, right? This is E. Goes to a B. Goes down to an A. We're doing great with our triads. Back to the E. Then to a B. And it repeats. You're going to be playing some stuff to build your solo. This is a great spot to start right here. And one thing I want to bring to your attention is that, we'll stop right there. In this first sequence of chords, you have some opportunities that you can emphasize. So when people ask me like, all right, how do I play notes that move with the chords? Or how do I make sure that I hit the changes? This is a perfect case where you can maybe become more aware of what the major scale offers you that the pentatonic doesn't have in it. The pentatonic has, say it with me now, class, how many notes are in the pentatonic scale? Just drop it into the chat. Let's make sure that we all understand that. The pentatonic scale. I love it when this still shows up in YouTube videos like, that's why it's called the pentatonic scale, because of the pentagram that you and your friends had in the middle of the attic with the Ouija board. No! Okay, so those are the chords. It doesn't look like much, but it has a logical flow. Can anyone tell me what note is not in the pentatonic scale that is in the major scale? What are the notes that we don't have? So we have 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. What are the 2 notes that we don't have in it? So the pentatonic scale has the 1, has the 2, and I'm talking about the major pentatonic scale in this case, has the 3, It doesn't have the it has the 5 and it has the 6 and it doesn't have the right? We're missing the 4 and the 7. So if we play with the possibilities of the 4 and the 7, it just happened to line up nicely here, gang. Those are 2 notes that are not in the pentatonic scale that will work great over the B chord and the A chord. The A chord, you can remember it very easily. That's the A chord is the 4 chord in this progression. That's where you can play the 4th degree of the E major scale. That's literally the A. And so if you emphasize that A, when we're hitting that A, that'll be one way to sort of bring out more of the chord tones and use more of the scale. So you could be jamming in your usual, doing some E major pentatonic, but the moment that we go to an A, you could bring in there it is again up there on the 2nd string, or there. That brings you kind of that Allman Brothers thing. Like, it gives you that really beautiful ability to hit that. So aim at the 4. When we hit the 4 chord, you don't have to always do it. Remember, these are just guidelines to start with. And then when we go to the B chord, that note is in B, and that note doesn't normally occur in the pentatonic scale. So check it out. We're going to jam over this first section. This will give you some ideas to get rolling in, in the verse. So we're going to dive right into it. So watch this. Regular E major pentatonic. There's the B. There's the A. Now if I just stay on the first string, watch this. So E. There's the B. We got. There's the A. So obviously you can also emphasize that B on the B. Just try to think of the chords as they're going by as an opportunity. And this is a rule that you want to genuinely try to follow whenever you're playing music is listen. Listen. More than anything, listen to what the music is saying. So in your head, there should be like a part of your brain that's keeping track of where the chords are. Roughly speaking, where you are in the map of the chords. So that if something occurs to you on the fly and you also remember, oh, here comes the B chord, you can try to emphasize that and then resolve it. So your solos will have more of a conversational kind of logic to it. And that's what we're all kind of looking for. When someone seems like they're playing effortlessly, they're basically noticing opportunities as they arise because they're keeping one part of their brain looking forward to the next change, the next noticeable musical event. So that's a good way to, like, even with just this map of the scale on the 1st and 2nd string, you can get a lot of mileage from it. Who can tell me what this is up on the board right now as we jam over this section once again? What would you give this as a nickname? What is this generally called out in the wild, in the world of the YouTube, in the world of guitar lessons? It's colloquially referred to as the BB box. Thank you, my friend Galen. It could be the A lick, maybe, you see it over the A. But here's what I like to see this as. This note right here, that's an E. That note is circled there so we can remember it. That's kind of my anchor. That's my way in. When I set up my first finger there, it's a great spot to have vibrato and really make it sing. And this is something that you'll become more aware of it as you really try to think like you're playing like a singer. So, and what I like to do when I pull my fingers away, it's not just for like the flashy showmanship of like, wow, the guitar's on fire. It's because the weight of my hand when I open it up allows me to get more leverage to make that sort of first finger kind of wobble. It's easier for the 3rd finger to be there because it's got the rest of the fingers behind it to sort of support. But when you do that first finger vibrato, it's a really nice way to allow it to sing. And the people are singing the praises. They love the BB lick. The reason that I set up with my first finger there is because I love to bend on that one. So you see I drew that blue arrow. This is also in the PDF. This gives you a chance to slide in with this spot right here. This is like the gravity spot as well. He does it in G. So if you get really comfortable with finding the root, in this case E, and try to notice how much vibrato you're doing. You could do it fast, You can do it nice and slow. Get aware of that. That's a good note to add right there. And here's a quick question for you guys. How would you rate your bends? If you were a player in a video game and if it was a scale of 1 to 100 on the category of bending, just how would you rate yourself in terms of like, and think of what goes into a bend, like having the control, having like the smooth bend, having the flexibility to do like different styles of bend, like a 78 Angus Dobby. Angus, I've heard your bends and they're mesmerizing. Angus is let me see if I get this right. He's a left-handed player playing a regular right-handed guitar. So he's got the skinny strings that are right here. And when you watch him play, he's got this crazy, amazing, mesmerizing technique where he's bending down. There's many guitar players in the world that have these, you'll see them on YouTube as like, is that really what I think it is? Like Albert King, for example, like totally different thing. I love seeing the numbers coming in. You guys are being honest, I'm sure. And Bluegrass Jammer has it on lock on 100. I love that. Love that for you. It's a work in progress. The thing I want to show you that I think sometimes people, I see it a lot. I see it a lot with students and people I'm working with. Let's say I'm trying to bend this note. I see people going like this, and each one of these fingers is a little bit separate. And it's basically like this finger right here is all on its own, and it's trying to push it like, watch from the side. It's like trying to curl and use the muscles of the finger to sort of unfold. And what that ends up happening is that it's a little bit like one of those people that's on a slack line, like in the wind. It's very like a high wire act because there's much less support. And so instead of that, I want you to start thinking of bringing these other fingers there, packed in like sort of a stack of hot dogs. They're not pushing too hard, but they're right there making contact with the lead finger that's bending. They're the spotters in the weight room, and they're going to help push this truck out of the mud. I have lots of analogies. I throw them around wildly. But what I want you to notice is that as I go for this bend, I'm turning my wrist. It's more of a turning motion like that. Like I'm turning a doorknob or a key versus being a pushing of the fingers up and down. Because right there, those are smaller muscles in the fingers, but the wrist and the elbow can have much more leverage if you just sort of anchor it and get it set up. So watch when I have this stacked together, I could bend more than I need. So I'll drop into the B section now. I'm gonna overbend right now, just to show you that if you have more than enough leverage. So I bent way sharp, but the way that I'll use that extra oomph is that I can do bend and vibrato. So when you have that ability to go more than you need, then you have the true control that you're looking for with the bend. So hopefully that helps. Let's talk a bit now about, well, before we get into the next thing, let's just take a breather. I wanna commend y'all on the hard work that you're putting in, because one of the things I've noticed that I've enjoyed in the licks that people are dropping into the Facebook group is that they're really expressing these really cool triads with the built-in fills, and then these six. So the six are sounding really good and really melodic and lovely. With that, I want to give us sort of a quick quiz right here. And it's going to be a quick little trivia question. I'm going to pop on a video, and it's me. It's a 20-second little quiz. And you simply have to spot the imposter. There's going to be 3 triads that are up on the screen, and you'll have a chance to use the voting machine here. Let's see if we test our knowledge of triads that we've been getting into since day one. And hopefully this works and doesn't crash the mainframe. Here we go. Hopefully the audio works too. Oh gosh, wait. Let me see. So these are all examples of a D major triad, right? What do you mean they're not? Well, then tell me which one is wrong. I'm pretty sure I got them. Look who's teaching this class now, huh? Okay. Shot. Which one's wrong? Which one's wrong? Could you guys hear that? Could you hear the audio there? Did that come through? Okay. So you've got to place your vote now using this using this thing. Was it 1? 1 would be the top, 2 would be the middle, 3 would be the down, 4 would be some wild card. You think that I'm lying? Okay, so in that quiz, let's run the quiz again. Yeah, you're going to vote which one was wrong. And just to review, here we go. So these are all examples of a D major triad. I said D major.
What do you mean they're
But
not?
one of them is a liar.
Well, tell me which one is wrong.
Spot the imposter.
I'm pretty sure I got him.
Spot the liar.
Look who's teaching this class now, huh?
So there's one.
Hey, hotshot, which
There's one. And then there's one. Which one? Oh, you guys are 100%? Wow. Way to go, y'all. Well, a few people are guessing too. So what that was a D major triad right there. There was another one right there. And then there was a sneaky little cheeky not so much a D. That was a G. Good to know, but it's also really good to know which one is which when you need it. Nice work, everybody. You keep me honest. You're on top of it. I love it. All right, so remember, our assignment is that we're going to build a solo. Obviously, we haven't talked much about the B section. Let's get into it. I think you're going to enjoy using the diagonal pentatonic for this. Okay, so everybody breathe, everybody relax. I know it looks like a lot of dots. We know this. Okay, so who can tell me which scale this is? If the notes that are circled with white, those are the root notes, and I'm treating this in this moment as a major pentatonic. Obviously, there's relative majors and minors. So, but the major pentatonic for this one, we got Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's good to have celebrities back in the house. We got some C. Ray's saying G major. We got some more votes for C. We got some G. So let's spell it out. Let's go. In fact, I'll build one of these little grooves down here with our auxiliary drum beat here. I'll clear this out. So it is indeed C major. Okay, so let's do something right here. We got. Woo! Ooh, love that. Okay, so what is happening right here that we might recognize from earlier this week? There's my root, there's C. Who can tell me, class, what does that remind you of? What is that exactly that we've been pretty much getting under our fingers since day one of this boot camp? Right, so there's a C bar chord, and then this would be kind of a Hendrix thing, right? Yeah, My Girl is not a bad answer too, because that's boom, right, so the Hendrix lick is built in right there. This is a great way. Now you're familiar with where to find it. It's a great entry point. Okay, and remember that this, as we've been talking about it, was just a familiar, like, oh yeah, now that I look at it, that reminds me of the fact that there's, I know it'll look crazy with all these extra dots, but that shape right there is the famous box 1, right? That would be like A minor pentatonic. The one that started it all, A minor pentatonic, AKA C major. Right? So now we're just seeing this with a new awareness that we don't always have to be in that one box. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody puts us in the box forever, right? What else do you notice about this pattern? And it is a pattern. What might help you simplify this pentatonic scale? Because it's only 5 notes. We've got 3 on one string, and then we've got 2. So look at the colors, even though there's a lot. You got 3 of the pink dots, and then 2 of the blue. And that's the entire scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The simplicity of it's great. 3, 2, 3, right? So 3, 2, and then repeat. And then you would keep going if you have more strings, or if you got that up on the higher frets, you can do that. The only curveball is that, you know, right here, this doesn't look exactly like the other parts because the tuning of the B string, the second string, is different. But that's fine. Once we offset for that, then you, from right there you can Isn't that cool? That whole thing is like, it's like chutes and ladders. You can just scoot all the way. You can go all the way, or you could stop at any point. So I could be like, or I could continue. The only thing we have to do is really practice these slides and these transitions, right? So we got to be more free and easy with like letting our hand move. And that's a little bit trickier than what we're used to. We're usually, sorry about that. That Tim doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a liar. Don't listen to him. We're used to thinking of scales maybe as like, I'm in one spot, I'm trying to not play the wrong notes, I'm staying in one area. This is asking us to be much more like a slip and slide. We're just like, blah, 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 blah. And you don't always have to play the whole thing, please don't. But guess what? In this chord progression, you could just play a little bit of this C major pentatonic over the C chord that happens. And let's try that. So we're jumping to the second section of the tune here. It starts off with that C sharp minor. Wait, I went to the wrong spot. My bad. Hit the wrong spot. I want to go here. Here we go. Now we got that G sharp minor. Now we got an A. Now here comes the C. Ready? Wow! Isn't that kind of cool? Like if you had that spring-loaded and ready to go, you don't have to play all those notes, but they do sound really cool when they slide into each other like that. So to remind ourselves what these changes are, we got a C sharp minor, we got a G sharp major, we got an A, and the C. So over the C is where I was doing this. Obviously, you could be doing this diagonal pentatonic in different spots too. So like I could do it on the A chord. I would just need to make sure that I start my whole, start on that A as the root, right? So let's see, I can't switch all those dots immediately, but let's imagine that I'm going to do this exact same pattern that you see here, but I'm going to start down on the open A string. Let's see if I can do it on the A and then on the C. Let's give it a go. Now we got the A. BB. Right, so at the end I was using a bit of the BB lick right there. And I was also using some of the droning notes from that scale on the string. How does this make you feel? Give me an emoji. It's okay if this feels like a lot. I am trusting that you can rewatch this. You can slow it down. And as always, you can just take the one piece of this that makes sense to you and stick with that. Like this is sort of like the level 1, 2, and 3, and I'm throwing it all at you. But if you're like, whoa, I don't know what he's talking about there, but I think I know what he's talking about there, grab that you're digging and make something from that. Because let's talk now a bit about how you're going to create this solo that I cannot wait to hear. Again, you're going to want to share those videos of yourself playing in the Facebook group. It's private, so there's not randos in there. And if they are, we kick them out. Me and Galen and Michael Butler, who's helping me, they're all helping me manage it. It's going great, and we're loving seeing it. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's okay to have the crazy dinosaur monster face or the oh man face. Has anyone in the chat here, have any of you surfed before? Let me know if you've surfed. Like, it doesn't need to be like fancy surfing, like just longboard surfing. I grew up in Hawaii, so I have a lot of friends who are really good at surfing. I'm just sort of okay. I can like barely surf properly, but I love being in the water, and I've spent many, many days at the beach. And one thing that I observe and really appreciate about surfers is that when they are longboarding and when they step out to the front of the board, they can hang 10. They can hang their toes off the edge of the board, or they can get out to the front. But they can't stay there forever because it's a balancing act. And if they put all of their weight at the front of the board, they're gonna eat bleep. They're gonna like pearl dive, and they're gonna fly off the front of the board. But it's fun to play with fire and to go out there and then have a plan for getting back. So they'll shimmy up to the front, and then they'll shimmy back, and they'll make it nice and smooth. Yeah, you need the surfer hair for the look and the feel. That reminds me, I always forget, like, surfed all over the world. So Jim knows what the deal is.
30 years.
That's right. Jim knows the deal. So the analogy that I'm making here is that when you dip out to play a solo, which is what you're going to be doing in the middle of a song, Treat the song like a wave. You're riding on it. You're supporting the song. The song is supporting you. You're playing tasty, meaningful parts that match and move with the chords. And then you've got a moment to take a solo. When you take a solo, you're stepping out to the edge of the board. Have a plan for getting back. Because if you can only walk out to the front of the board and play your solo, and how many of you can relate to this? Sometimes when you switch into, I'm going to play hot licks, you lose your grip on where the chords are and how to fall back smoothly into the changes, because that's a tricky move, right? But it's so good and so satisfying musically as a player and as a listener when you're able to do it. It's so satisfying. It makes you want to rock with lasers. I'm sorry, I'm not tired of this yet. You're very nice to put up with this. Hang body is what it turns into, right? Yeah, instead of hang 10, it's like hang 100%. We're celebrating it. So with that in mind, when you build your solo, and again, we've got the PDFs that have the cheat sheets for everything you're seeing right here. So don't sweat it if the dots go away. What I will do, which I haven't done yet, it's silly of me, but I haven't put up like a full chord chart. So we got to just sort of like, we'll create that right now. Let's listen to it from the top. Got our intro. So let's remember what these chords are. We got our A section. Here we go. E. Uh-oh. I need a layer. Give me a layer. Boom. So E, B, A. Then we've got E, back to B. So it does that twice, right? That's our verse. Boom. I gotta try to remember. Boom, boom. And then it does it wrong. Okay, so now we're coming up on the B section. Like the chorus, we'll say. I didn't go there because it looped. Sorry. Here we go. We'll go right here. Boom. C sharp minor. G sharp major. A. And then C. And it just keeps going. E. B. And we got that walk down from A. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so that's a lot of information, but we've been learning it. We know how to digest it. This is what you want to try to do, is now sketch out a battle plan so that you have some way that you like to get into this solo. And this is the kind of stuff that I love doing, because then you basically take anything from the list of our sort of bag of tricks we've been building. You could be like, all right, I want some Hendrix fill. Help me out with this. Remind me, what are some of the things we've been building and using throughout the week? Like so there's the Hendrix fill, for example. What else we got? Hendrix. Yeah, we got Jeff and Tony saying hi to each other. The lasers are pretty great, right? Cali and Oahu. So I grew up in Oahu. I grew up out by China Walls, which is a great spot out there near like Coco Head as you go around to Hanama Bay. Some epic, huge days out there. And I had no business being out there on some big ones, but then definitely some small days, just some mushy days and being out there. So thirds and sixths, that's great. Thirds and sixths. You see how we're just kind of making like a shopping list. BB box, and my handwriting is what it is. I'm very sorry. Hey, Uruguay, checking in. Hola, ¿cómo está usted? Ben slides. Like, you want to make your sort of like your ultimate sort of guitar bag of tricks like playlist. And then you're just going to do like a shuffle of it, meaning you're going to grab from it. And I'm sorry, it looks awful, but you get the idea that you're going to basically say, okay, have a battle plan. So it's okay, for a way to get into it, maybe I'll do a nice Hendrix fill to start off my solo. And then maybe, I'll go for the thirds and the sixths. And then I'll come back to the triads. That's going to be your assignment. That's your video challenge. And I'll be able to tell. And I think we all will be able to tell. Not because you have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. You can make mistakes. That's great. But I think you can tell when someone had a bit of a plan going into a solo. And even if you just have a way into it that you like, and then the middle bit is open up for grabs, and then you have a way out of it, I would highly recommend that. So let's give a go now. I'm going to play this track, and I want you guys to jam along, and then we'll talk a little bit about how it went and like what type of stuff you emphasized. We'll start from the top. Okay, so we're going to do a solo here, starting on the verse. Here we go. I'll play rhythm for you. I don't want to get in the way. So. Next section. All right, so how did it go? How was your solo draft one? How would you rate your solo on a scale of 1 to 100? How well did you surf the wave? Tony boy! Tony boy! He's crazy. That guy's crazy. That guy's just plain old crazy. He's a good dude. Let me see if I got this. Is this confetti? I forget. Yeah, that's confetti. Yeah, we're having a party. A -5. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's a good starting point. There's nothing but room to go up from there. You wiped out. It's okay. We get a lot of information at first, and don't be afraid to, to face plant a few times. That's what surfing is. That's okay. Angus coming in with a 17. Pearled. He's down there with the sea urchins. He's caught somewhere down in a cave, but he's coming back for air. It's going to be all right. Embrace the journey, my friends. We're having. I'm comedic in a sense. My life is one big comedy, is it not? Oh, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, so everybody's getting in there. You're going to have plenty of chances up on the downloads page. And remember, all week it's been the exact same downloads page. I'll drop it into the chat. Or could somebody copy paste it? It's guitarfriendtim.com/downloads. And each day I'm just opening up a new section of it. So now there's a little MP3 player that has the A section and the B section together. They're sitting there side by side, ready to go, as well as the PDF, which you can download and print out, whatever you need to. Just got bit by a shark. No, don't let them smell the shark in the water. There's blood in the water. But yeah, you'll be able to use the resources, share a video. And the reason that you want to share a video, gang, is because the prizes have been great already. Our main man, Chaz, I think Chaz Bauer is his name. He won a 1-to-1 lesson with me yesterday, randomly drawn, which is super awesome. And he's already booked it. So we got that on the docket to rock out with our friend Chaz. And today, what I'm going to be sharing with y'all, the winner of today's drawing is going to get, and my members know what this is all about, a free 1-year membership to our community. So if you didn't know, every night we go live and do a quick workout. These workouts are a pretty close example of that. Except we're taking more time here. We're doing about an hour. Well, what we do is just like 20 minutes, a real concise dose of a practice jam together. That's why when you see this thing come up, that's what that is. It keeps us on track, and we have a theme of the week. And I'll show you just like over here, like this is the community. This is like the welcome area. All these amazing people, you'll see them. They're here in the chat. Lots of them. They welcome people in, like new arrivals all the time. And then we go over here to this section, the guitar workout of the day. That's the name of the website, guitarworkoutoftheday.com. And this week we're doing blues you'll use, like blues you'll actually use is the idea. We've got these boot camps are listed in there. And so we've got over like 330 of these, which is crazy. But you can scroll through and search through. We have a Zoom hang every Friday. So somebody is in a few moments is going to be getting a membership to this whole community for an entire year, which is wild and awesome, and can't wait to have you because it's exactly the type of spot that you want to be to keep the momentum going. So I'm going to pull up the Facebook group page, and just like I did yesterday, I'm going to close my eyes and randomly scroll down, and someone on the screen will be the lucky winner. Let's go to the community home. This is where you want to go too. This is where you want to do the daring and the sharing. Okay, so we see all these people here. that are doing these awesome videos. There's me. I can't win. I don't need any more of me in my life. I'm already doing fine, thanks. Okay, so we're randomly scrolling. Whoever it lands on is gonna get a free 1-year membership. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Oh, we got Zeke. Zeke is picking up a 1-year membership to the GFT. He's gonna be working out every day with us. And I know, and here's it's almost like it was meant to be, because in his recent video, Zeke borrowed a lick from Chaz Bauer, who he doesn't know other than just from this group. And Chaz Bauer was the guy that coincidentally won randomly. So it's all connected, man. It's all connected, bro. Congratulations, Zeke. I'm going to reach out to you, send you a message. You got a link. Super excited to have you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, let's continue. And now you know what we're dealing with here, gang. We've got all the reason in the world to keep showing up and sharing your playing. I love seeing it. People are commenting and being awesome. Are there any questions right now before we dive into this last little bit here? I'll give us a few more chances to jam along. By the way, I don't want to leave you in suspense, but I bet you're wondering, how does this song end? Here's a little teaser, since you guys are so cool. Normally I don't do this, but there's another section we haven't heard yet. I think it's here. Woo! We're gonna get a little bit stanky. Give us some room to be. That's all you get for right now. That's going to be a lot of fun. Zeke, you're on the call. So I'm so glad that you won, man. Congratulations. I'll reach out to you. You're going to have a blast. But yeah, so that was a little sneak preview of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to dip into the outro, the sort of bluesy kind of thing. You guys have been awesome. I'm checking to see if there's any questions. And whenever people are wondering about the links, we got the links. We'll try to find you and reach out to you. You know how it is, like with gizmos and text. Sometimes like you hit the link and it doesn't open in the right way. So we'll try to put the links to all the things in all the places. But basically, you're in the right place to watch the streams. This is where the replays happen. You're probably watching the replay in the future now. Hello, future us. So you don't need to go looking for a different link for the live version or the replay. And then, yeah, the Facebook group is where we do the sharing and all the comments. So that's where we can interact. It's real easy to just upload a video. That little jam at the end, I was just playing an E. Again, it's all attached to the same song. So the section before is one of our sort of B sections, right? But listen, now this is going to be our outro to the song. And we'll really dive into this tomorrow, which is why you want to try to share your stuff tonight. Right? So it's a little bit like the Hey Jude, na 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 na. So the drums I'm using are Victor and Drizzo from the Yurt Rock collection. They make incredible samples. They record, Yurt Rock, they record these legendary players on all instruments. And then guys like me get to be like, yeah, that sounds good. So building it on top of like a great set of drums is a fun way to go, because they're like from real full takes. And these are like session, like heavy, as we say, like these are heavy cats that have played on a lot of stuff. So you're kind of you're already well down the road sounding good. Yeah, what I was just doing there was octaves, using the A string as the map there. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that we can get into a lot of things. This little bit here, and this is kind of like another Hendrixy kind of thing, like the what is it? That sort of third stone from the sun type of thing. Yeah, and for the drum loops, I just drag them in. The beauty of it is that I use a program called Loop Cloud, and I can see all of them, and then I drag them into Ableton. I use Ableton to build it, and then I might edit it and stuff like that. But for years, I would do the programming of drums with my fingers, and I realized, like, wait a second, I'm a guitar player. I'm not a drummer. I tried. I'm not good at drums, and it never quite sounds as human as when a human's doing it. So yeah, gang, you guys are kicking booty. Keep up the good work. We're going to jam out a little bit more on this tune. I'll give you another crack at practicing your solo, but I want to give you more time to work on it and put it together and make sure that it's something that you dig. And even if it's not the world's perfect solo, nobody needs to be perfect. Just share what you got. It'll be amazing. So here we go from the top. Let's jam it out. Ba-dum, 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 boom. I'll put up some of these things that might help us. Well, that's a C major pentatonic. Use the BB spot. For sure use the BB spot. There we go. Yeah, there's some heavy cats out there too. I used to have a very heavy cat. His name was Art. That was back when I lived in Hawaii. Art had a big old belly. Here we go, B section. C sharp, G sharp, A. And we got this C. This is where you would play your solo, right? Oh yeah, here we go now. Nice work, guitar friends. You're doing great. I cannot wait to see and hear what you're cooking up.